Greetings and welcome to our Unity of Tustin Wednesday evening Conscious Conversation service. I'm Reverend Clive de Laporte. We are so blessed to have you join us this evening in the oneness of spirit, an online fellowship and community. Let us join together now as we open our service with prayer. In the awareness of divine presence and power, we come together in the oneness of humanity and the inspiration and potential and possibility of divinity. We claim a blessing for each one attending with us this evening. We open our minds and our hearts to the conscious conversation we have this evening with Shara Moscinska, and the consideration of life as a living school. We ask God to bless us with the attitude and intention that we can live and learn and grow each day into a fuller experience and expression of the truth and good of our common divinity. Thank you, God, and so it is. This evening we are blessed in our conscious conversation to have Shara Moscinska with us. Shara is a graduate of the Richard Rohr Living School and also currently in the Unity Worldwide Ministries ministerial program. We look forward to that conversation later. The power for this month, the power for the month of September, is the power of order. And to honor that power, we light the order candle for today. We are reminded of the 12 powers of the Christ. Each power is itself in divine order. Each power leads us into an experience and expression of the next and following power. Let's take a moment to open our hearts in remembrance of the 12 powers of the Christ. The power of faith, the power of strength, the power of wisdom, the power of love, the power of power, the power of imagination, of understanding, the power of will, of order, of zeal, and finally the two powers of elimination and the power of life. Each one of the 12 powers blesses us that we might arrive at that place of fulfilling the promise of the Christ in each one of us, as communicated and shared with us by the Apostle John. I have come that you might have life and have it more abundantly. In the sacred space of that thought this evening, we hold the names on our September prayer request list. We claim for each name on that list the blessing of the 12 powers of the Christ, that they, in every aspect of their human experience, and every dimension of their being may be blessed with the promise and the prophecy that the Christ will unfold for them abundant life with ease and grace. This evening we are blessed with the video music of Karen Drucker and our first song, I Am So Grateful.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 so grateful, so I'm grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, so grateful, so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, so grateful, I'm so grateful, so grateful, so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so grateful, I'm so very grateful, so blessed, so grateful.
Thank you, Karen, for the blessing of that song. Our inspirational reading this evening comes from the Daily Word. The word is life. The affirmation, I cherish the gift of life. I cherish the gift of life. I create my life with my outlook, my choices, my thoughts, my beliefs, and my actions. I have the power to be grateful, even while experiencing challenges and maybe disappointment. I can be loving, even in the face of anger. What I choose to energize will determine the tone of each day. My attitude creates waves of energy as my life resonates at the frequency I send out. I choose to claim my life as a precious gift. I make lists of things for which I am grateful. I speak words of love to my friends and family. I share smiles with strangers. I help where I can and I cherish every single moment of every day. I live and breathe within the allness and oneness of God, and I see blessings bursting forth in new and exciting ways every day. The sacred text for today's reading is John 10:10. I have come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly. Again, the word for today is life, and the affirmation, I cherish the gift of life. We bless the words of today's reading. We open our hearts and our minds to receive its blessing of insight and inspiration. Join me now as we take these words within through guided meditation. In the awareness of oneness and the allness of God, we center ourselves. Invite the body to relax. And with each breath, feel that relaxation becoming deeper. Invite the mind to become calm. And the heart to become quiet. Paying attention to the breathing, with each exhale, become more relaxed, more calm, and more quiet. In our meditation this evening, we hold the attitude of intention. That our life is for living. That life is a school, providing us with learning opportunities to more fully demonstrate our divine potential. That we are here to live and to learn and to grow in love, in peace, in joyful experience and expression of our oneness with God and each other. That we can be responsible for what we think, for what we say and what we do. That our thoughts and our words and our actions can reflect our attitude and intention to build community, to build consciousness, to build oneness in our world. With that attitude and intention in our hearts this evening, let us come now together in the oneness of spirit and the sacred space of silence. returning your awareness to your heart space. Again, recognize your oneness with God and humanity. We conclude our meditation with a feeling of gratitude and the silent expression, "Thank you, God." And so it is. That brings us to the blessing of another music video by Karen Drucker. The song, "Thank You for This Day."
Say thank you, thank you, thank you, 'cause I'm so grateful, oh grateful, I'm so grateful. So I want to say thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Now thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. I want to say thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful. So grateful. So grateful. So grateful. So grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. So grateful. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. Just thank you. Thank you. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful. Yeah. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I want to just say thank you now. Just thank you now. 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 Each and every day I'm gonna say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Karen Drucker, for the blessing of that song. That brings us to our conscious conversation for this evening. I'm so blessed to welcome to our conscious conversation Shara Moscinska. Shara, I'd like to take this opportunity before we begin our conscious conversation this evening to thank you on behalf of Unity of Tustin, our community and our ministry, for taking time to join us in our Wednesday evening conscious conversation service.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Oh, you are so welcome. So I'd like to start by just introducing you to our members and online viewers by reading briefly from your bio. You describe yourself as a spiritually orientated psychotherapist, consultant, and teacher specializing in mental health, spiritual development, and forgiveness-based healing. And very excitedly, you are currently in the Unity Worldwide Ministries Ministerial Licensing Program.
Correct. I am studying away. I'm on the path.
Confirming the truth that we are students for life, correct?
Absolutely.
And I think that kind of leads in very nicely to our topic this evening, something I'm very excited about and I know would be a good fit and of interest to our members at Unity of Tustin, that you not only are a current student of a Unity Minister student, but you are a graduate of the Richard Rohr Living School.
Correct.
Shara, tell me how that came to be. What was it that drew you from a Unity faith into an interest in Richard Rohr's Living School curriculum and also what they do there at the Center for Contemplation and Action?
Okay. You know, it's interesting, as I was centering before coming on this interview with you, I was reminded of a meditation that Richard often starts with. And he goes, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am. Be still and know. Be still, be. And then after that, I got the words of be still, show up, and follow. And it struck me as a nice kind of mantra for today, but it's actually how I found the Living School. You know, I was be still, show up, and follow. I had a friend. I didn't know anything about Richard Rohr, even though he lives in my community. I had a friend tell me about him and say that there was going to be this conference. It's on my birthday, so it's going to be my birthday present. I go to sign up and I find out that it's full. So and before it wasn't. So I go and I say, you know, I'm local, I can volunteer, can I help? Because I'm inspired. You know, you have to follow these things. And they're like, no, we had some cancellations, you can come, just register. So I come, I have an amazing experience. It's really beautiful. And there's a luncheon specifically to introduce the Living School. Hadn't even been a thing yet. And I was in this luncheon and I had that inner yes. And I just knew it was a resonant path. And I applied, a wonderful but intentional process. And then it really became a complementary educational spiritual journey that really enhanced my Unity journey for the next 2 years. And from that time on, I still meet with my cohort, our little cohort of 27. We still have a monthly Zoom meeting, years later. So it really forms that community, and in a way is a model of even what spiritual development is looking like, how it's evolving. But for me, it was very complementary to our Unity teachings. And I often see our Unity teachings as like the divine cracker. Because when we get past dogma and go into mysticism, there is a harmony and a compatibility of many faith traditions, of many ways of knowing. And it's really important to have our foundational teachings, because I do think, I like that metaphor of the well, and we have many different faith traditions helping us create a well directly into source. And then within that source, there's this richness, and there's this emergence, and there's this synergy of spirit that can help us expand and grow. And then when we come back up through the well of our faith tradition, we actually can expand and evolve the faith tradition as well. So there's a reciprocity between personal spiritual development and the development of our faith traditions. And it's one of the things that continually pulls me into the unity movement. Our unity movement did not start as a denomination, did not start as a dogma. The Fillmore's inspiration was to create a contemplative practice that would be an adjunct to all faith traditions, to potentiate what was already there. And that's actually a real similarity, because in Living School, there is a huge emphasis on meditation, spiritual practice, centering prayer, that same thing, in order to help us access that spirit directly. But also the Fillmores were very evolutionary. You know, they were a little reluctant to become a denomination, because in my point of view, there's often a lot of dogma and stagnation attached to it. But inherent in unity teachings, as I understand them, is the seeds of ongoing learning, transformation, development, and evolution. Now, Myrtle and Charles, they both emphasized healing, wholeness, regeneration, even ascension, because that was demonstrated by Jesus. So they were committed to develop the capacities and trust that we could develop capacities even beyond what they were able to demonstrate in their lifetime. So what that means to me is that inherent in unity teachings is the directive to continue to move towards demonstrating more than you know how to demonstrate. Exactly. And I think the Fillmores gave us that permission. They gave us that permission to demonstrate even more than they knew how to demonstrate. And that allows our tradition and unity to be an open system where compatible teachings can enrich and expand both self and the community. So one thing that I discovered, or that really helped me in the Living School, is that where we have this blueprint, this roadmap, this permission to continually expand and evolve in our unity movement, the Living School, among many things, but it really helped give roadmaps of what that looks like, and roadmaps of the emergence of consciousness from before, during, now, and after our founders in the unity movement.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for that tightly packed and yet opening reminder that Charles and Myrtle Fillmore started unity as contemplative prayer, as a prayer meeting for healing, where members that came to those prayer meetings were actually members of other churches, right? They would go to their Sunday service in the morning, and then they would meet as a prayer group for healing and wholeness in the afternoons. And the consciousness that they were seeding was that truth needs to demonstrate as wholeness and health if it is to demonstrate at all. And I remembered one of Charles's teachings saying that if it doesn't manifest materially as good in your life, move on and get something else. You know, don't be tied to a dogma, don't be tied to a teaching, but use things that you can demonstrate as good in your lives. And thank you for that reminder. And also for affirming something that I've always taught, and that is that the unity metaphysics is the gateway to mysticism. The metaphysics comes first, right? The metaphysical understanding, the foundational teachings of our metaphysical philosophy opens the doorway to an enlightened and illuminated mystical experience, right? And I love the analogy that you used with crackers, because one of my favorite snacks is crackers and cream cheese, right? And so you might think of metaphysics as the cracker and mysticism as the cream cheese, yes?
I think that sounds delicious. But truly, it's the delivery system. It's the so we can call it the divine cracker. That's the delivery system for whatever spiritual topping that you put on it. And, but it won't mask the quality. Like you said, if it's not in alignment, something will be off.
Yes, well, let me jump in there. So cream cheese is cream cheese, and it's delightful as cream cheese. And crackers are crackers, and they're delightful. But oh boy, when you put the two together, cream cheese and crackers, now you're talking about mystical ecstasy for the taste buds, right?
Absolutely, and it's true. The sum is greater than the parts.
Yes.
So what we really, one of the first things that Richard taught us, and the main teachers when I was there, because even the living school's evolving, so there's different teachers, but it was Richard Rohr, Cynthia Bourgeot, James Finley, and Ilya Delio had a fairly major part too. But Richard started by teaching us quite in depth about spiral dynamics. And that is Claire Graves' models, also adapted in Integral Theory by Ken Wilber, that shows that there is this evolution of consciousness that's a response to the complexity of the external environment that emerges from itself over time, over the history of humanity. And there's so much to say about it. You know, it's moving faster. It's unfolding in faster ways. But what's inherent in it is that the Christ consciousness is that capacity for us to co-create with what is, and from that have something emerge that is better than, bigger than, different than what came before. So, you know, you have the cracker and the cream cheese, and then you get a meal. And part of spiral dynamics is that you transcend what was while also including it. So everything belongs. And this model is very important for us. It's helpful as spiritual seekers, as leaders, because it helps us have a sense of where we are, where we're going, and what our blind spots are, so that we can both attune to the value systems of others, creating harmony rather than division and polarization, including within ourselves, and have a sense of how to participate in that unfolding. Because as we unfold, transcend, and include, we expand. And what we're expanding is our capacity for love, our capacity to connect, our capacity to experience and express that deeper wholeness.
Right. Shara, I think this might be a good time for us to share with the community this evening that this is not the first time we've met. Is that right?
I absolutely not.
So we had the blessing to be able to work together in 2016 at Unity of Albuquerque, when I was the transitional minister there, and you were one of the spiritual leaders in the community, and also one of our platform assistants, very able platform assistants. I just want to say how blessed I am to, have known you and Chris, to be family friends with Chris, you, Grace, and Eve, and also to have watched how your own spiritual path has unfolded. And I'm so excited by the news that you have now entered the Unity Worldwide Ministries ministerial path. My next question is this. I think you are so richly qualified for the ministry. But specifically, how do you see your background in Unity, your living school certification, and now your Unity Minister licensing? How do you see that all coming together as a ministry for you in the future?
That's a good question. I mean, the first thing that comes is, in a sense, I don't know. And I think that is part of the capacity that I have really worked to develop, and that I believe good spiritual teaching has us develop. There is this correlation in my mind between deeper wisdom and the ability to hold ambiguity, to be in the in-between, to let go of what was familiar even though we don't know what's arising, and to hold that space of tension so that the becoming emerges from wholeness itself rather than our will or what we put onto it. So on one level, my intention is to follow and be surprised and see what emerged. I get great comfort from imagining life itself as a conscious being. And it's a conscious being that's on my side. We can look at our life and say it's on our side to give us the next lesson that allows us to unfold in divine order in a way that we can experience and express more of divine mind, more of spirit, more of the good in the world. So some of it is to be discovered and to listen and respond to what life brings. So with that part of what I will bring is the orientation to develop that in others, to bring as part of the spiritual journey our capacity to trust our lives. Trust our lives and let that divine intelligence lead. That's on an individual level. It's an organizational level. And we participate in this. This isn't passive. We participate by listening to the still small voice, by following inspiration, by finding out what resonates, by increasing our network and seeing what other people are doing that is on the edge of the inside, showing the next step. And it's from there that that I think we find who we are to become the best way.
Wonderful. Yes, thank you for that. I love that. I think one of the things that resonates for both of us is, in the mystical experience of the divine, is being completely comfortable with the unknowing of what is next and living in that place of trust, right? Just reassuring that you're where you need to be while not exactly knowing what the end looks like from the beginning, but taking these stepping stone mystical experiences as we are guided forward into the unfolding of the divine order of things that have been not ordained or predetermined, but certainly proposed as options for us as we move forward as free-willed souls, having a spiritual experience in a human life school.
I will say that I take a little exception with that completely uncomfortable with the unknown. I think that's a high bar. I almost think it's inherently uncomfortable. And this is where our spiritual community and guidance matters so much. Like and spiritual practice. How do we move from ego-centered living to soul-centered living? How do we disidentify from the ego and identify stronger with spirit to fortify us in the faith that even in the unknown, the unfolding will be in divine order according to our highest good? And we need, most of us, need good spiritual community, the coherence of people with like-minded faith, the support of even respite in hikes and fun and good quality time together to support us in this journey, because it is difficult. It is a risk to death the person we are, to become more God in the world. And I do think that is a main directive of spiritual community, is to help fortify the person to have the courage to continue to transform, organizationally as well as individually, so that we don't shrink back to the dysfunctional familiar that we may have already outgrown.
Yeah, it's definitely outside I think we're both adding to the same observation. It's outside the comfort that the mystical finds its experience and expression. And getting back to the cracker and the cream cheese analogy, which I love, and I just like that we're having this conversation just before lunch. So that's a good preparation for a cracker and cheese lunch. But here again, we have the metaphysics and the mystical, right? We find our knowing, we find our order and clarity in the foundational of the metaphysics, and holding one hand onto that while we step courageously into the mystical experience of the divine. So we kind of have both. We're not abandoned out there. I remember, and I understand how that point of view can be challenging at some times. I remember counseling a Unity student once about preparing for the Sunday service, preparing the message for the Sunday service. And he asked me, what's the most profound piece of advice that you've experienced that you could share with me? And I said to him, be underprepared, not overprepared. And I recall when I was a Unity minister, my first talks were written out word for word and almost memorized and rehearsed. And I found that I was in the moment, in the divine now, of standing up on that stage, at the podium, that I was blocking off the insight and inspiration of spirit that was live to the people and the situation in the room. And as I learned and developed the courage to create more sacred space, being underprepared, spirit involved itself in the Sunday service more fully, involved itself in the Sunday message more fully. And the messages were more rewarding, the messages were more insightful and more inspiring. And I used to have the wonderful experience of hearing things for the first time while I was standing at the podium on Sunday giving my message, going, my goodness, somebody write that down, Shara, unfortunately, our time is up. I have no doubt that if you are willing, we are going to see a lot more of you as a contributor to our Wednesday evening services, our Sunday services, maybe even retreats in the future. thank you for taking time this evening to bless us at Unity of Tustin with your insights and your inspiration.
Thank you so much, Clive, and blessings to you, blessings to your community, and thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Shara, for the blessing of your insight and inspiration, of your views on the Unity faith and the Richard Rohr Living School philosophy. We look forward to future opportunities where we can have you a part of our Sunday or Wednesday evening services and receiving a bigger blessing of insight and inspiration from you. That brings us to our offering for this evening. I'd like to take a moment, as I always do, to give you our sincere gratitude and thanks. On behalf of the ministry of Unity of Tustin, the board, the staff, and myself, we are grateful to you for your ongoing financial support of our ministry. Without that support, our day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month operations in the fulfilling of our spiritual vision and mission would not be possible. A reminder that you can go online to our website on the Donate tab for a safe and secure donation platform. You can also find links to our Donate button on our Facebook page. And you can, of course, mail in a check to our Unity of Tustin mailing address. Open your minds and your hearts now to the blessing of our offering for today as I recite our offering affirmation. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all I receive. Thank you, God. I am so blessed. And now for our final music blessing this evening, a song by Karen Drucker, All Is Well.
All is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well, all is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well, all is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well, all is well, I can rest, I am safe. All is well, all is well.
Thank you, Karen Drucker, for the blessing of your music in our Conscious Conversation service this evening. A couple of announcements before we bless each other and go our separate ways. A reminder that this Sunday we have Reverend Blair Tabor, who is our guest speaker for our Meditation Garden Sunday service at 11 o'clock. And Reverend Blair will be talking to us about listening to heal, changing our conversations. Reverend Blair will continue the topic of his Sunday service message in a deeper conscious conversation with us. A quick reminder also that our World Day of Prayer is coming up, September 9th and 10th. Keep an eye out for our e-blasts, our Facebook page postings with more detailed information on that. And also October, our Adventure in Faith program. Reverend Robert Brummett is our guest speaker and facilitator, and he will be working from his book, Living Originally, and we are blessed to have Reverend Robert as our Sunday service speaker and also Wednesday evening Zoom group facilitator throughout the month of October as we work together with Reverend Robert and the material of his book, Living Originally. Let's join together now in the prayer for protection as a blessing for one and all. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Blessings to you. Thank you again for being a part of our service this evening. Until we see you next week, please know that you are not and never alone. You are always and ever in our hearts, our uplifting thoughts, and empowering prayers.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful, 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 I'm so grateful. Gratitude before